Hey guys, what's up? It's your favorite Chamaco, and today I want to talk about my experiences going to therapy as a Latino guy. Now, as I'm sure a lot of the Latinos in the audience will know, mental health and psychological therapy in the Latino community are not really a thing. Like, you want to know what my mental health training or and what my mental health concerns got me? El cincho and la chancla, bro, the belt and the sandal. That was my remedy to, or my parents' remedy to mental health struggles. um like, for real, man, I know a lot of you may not believe me, but El Cincho was the first time that I learned about Newton's second law of motion, man. Like, I was like, dang, the belt is small, but if you accelerate it a lot, it still produces a big force against my bottom. But yeah, dude. I mean, there's just, to be frank, there's just not a lot of support for mental health in the Latino community, point blank, and it's very stigmatized. And to be honest, a lot of us come from like poor migrant backgrounds. I know I did, and like you know, or we have dreamer status, which I also did for a long time, and so um you know, there was really basically zero access to it because of that in my case. Um, Aside from maybe school counselors, but obviously, having or taking 20 to 30 minutes with a school counselor is not the same. And plus, they usually talk to you about like career and university stuff. But yeah, dude, I first went to psychological therapy in the summer of 2019, and I essentially went kept going for sessions every 1 or 2 weeks or so, um until February of 2020, which was right before the you know what happened, of course. um and I have to be honest, it didn't really work for me at first. I think it's because of the people that I was speaking with. My first therapist was like a very lovely Taiwanese woman. And you know, to be honest, I really enjoyed talking with her. We always talked about like modern Chinese history and stuff like that, and um I really appreciated that. Again, I said I felt she was a very, very nice individual, but like the fact is that she couldn't really tell me much about my situation other than she thought that I should perform exposure therapy. So like I struggled with anxiety a lot, and like I don't want to necessarily say paranoia, but I got into my head a lot. Um, and she told me that I should step by step, little by little, try and conquer my social anxiety and fear, and I eventually did. But for a lot of the other stuff concerning my life, like my troubles with girls and whatnot, and making friends, she didn't really have anything but platitudes to offer, like just be confident, or like, you know, I could just tell that, she wasn't used to working with people like me. Um and again, although I liked her as a person, she wasn't a very good therapist for me. Um Same thing for my other ones. Kind of just the same. Like, just be confident, bro. Just be a Giga Chad, bro, and everything will be fine. Uh, and that was pretty much it until around November of 2024, when I decided again to go, to start going. And uh this time it was all telehealth appointments. Uh and it was with a different lady, although it was at the same practice. Um and you know, this time it actually really worked, man. Like, um this lady like really helped me through a lot of deep stuff, man. Deep seated stuff that I needed to get out. And you know what was the difference? This lady, before even becoming a psychologist, a therapist, she had worked with people like me at the beginning of her career. So she knew about our issues. She knew about plausible solutions, and she said it in a way where, like, I really trusted her and I felt like she knew what she was talking about. It wasn't just some platitude. She was like, if you want to solve this, you need to go out and do this and this and this. And that resonated more with me. And as a disabled person, I know you feel this and this and this, you know. And just through the talking, she sort of slowly, like, re-engineered the way I saw a lot of things that were bothering me for years. And it even resulted in allowing me to get better sleep, guys, if you can believe it or not. Like, it was that much of a difference. I finally, for the past, I would say 4 or 5 months, I've been like getting continuously almost or exactly 8 hours of sleep every single day. And it was because of those sessions. Like, it just felt like a mental weight was completely lifted off my head. And I'm just so grateful, even though I have to stay poor to keep my Medicaid, but I am grateful that I have access to that, and that it had such a positive effect on my life. I'm so much happier, man. So, but I will say that reflecting back on my first experience with therapy 5 years ago, I also did some growth on my own, in the sense that I was a lot more honest with my therapist this time. Excuse me, because the other time I also didn't really, like, I was still very guarded about a lot of stuff. I sort of at times purposefully avoided going deeper into things that I knew were bothering me. So I will take responsibility for that. But yeah, man. if you're a Latino or a minority and are able to, please go to therapy. It might take you a while to find the right therapist, but don't give up. It will do you wonders. Um and yeah, thank you very much. Bye.